Snap, 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 snap. Geektastic Cypher. We are back. It is Wednesday evening, Wednesday night to all y'all on the Eastern shoreline at 7 p.m. To the Pacific people, I believe it's about 3. How are y'all? It's episode 306. It's my man, Dave, Mr. Merc with the Mouth. I'm your
Sup,
boy,
sir?
Action Figgy Skinny. We are waiting on Mr. Brian Doc Holiday. And yeah, we welcome y'all back to our show that we have every wonderful Wednesday for you cool, fine, happy cats out there. So yeah. What's been new with you, homie?
I'll tell you one thing I saw this week, not like show related, but something that I
And you're just
wanted to
gonna
like.
jump right in.
I'm jumping into something that anyone and everyone should try one time. That's one thing that's new with me. I tried something over the weekend that I think was awesome, and that is, I guess it works for any movie showing, but I so happen to see Empire Strikes Back in concert, and what that means is that I went to Palais des Congrès. And they had a special version of the movie that was in like this, like, regular theater size screen, roughly.
Right.
And it's playing like the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, but there's no music. All the music, even the little like all those little things that
is
music
played live.
It's all live with an orchestra in front of you. And what's fucked up is like if you pay attention, you could understand how good it is because you could tell because like the speakers for the movie are up, right? But the orchestra's low. So when you hear something, like when people are talking, it sounds like it's talking down to you. But like, let's say like the little zooms or the little things that they do with like the violins or all these random instruments throughout the movie, they're doing. So it sounds almost like it's at ear level, which kind of makes it sound like it's around you because it's so echoey and stuff.
Yeah.
What's crazy about it is these people were so on point. At one point in time, I had to remind myself I was in the theater. Like that I was like with like an orchestra, that I was not just watching the movie.
Oh, okay.
And it was because one person just kind of like slightly elongated one of those like, but I was there, I'm like in a good way, and I'm like, homie. Like that's correct Star Wars. But sure, that was great. And I shit you not, when it first started, I had like, I don't want to say I got emotional because I was not like I was crying or anything, but I'm saying like the overwhelming power of like the orchestra hitting you and like hearing Star Wars orchestra like live.
Yeah.
Like it moved me. I don't know how to say it. I was there, I'm like, this is dope. Like I was there, I'm like, I wonder if this is what people who watch these like
you.
Well, I don't know how to describe it, but like, it's like it was like seeing like a great, like seeing your favorite band or something. You know what I mean? You know how you have like a feeling when you see your favorite band, like this is the absolute dopeness, but like you connect when that band is playing.
Yeah.
That is the equivalent feeling that I would give it. It was like it was like, not to sound too corny, but it was like connecting with Star Wars on a different level.
No, that was corny, bro. No, but I get it. I get it.
But you know what I'm saying?
I get it. I hear you.
Tell me how you describe it. But but I honestly, anyone who ever thought of doing that is dope. And yeah, it was a great experience, man.
You had a good time. I hear. I want our boy to be able to tell about his experience because apparently
I know I don't want to take because I was gonna say the experience as like the event was cool. However, the event
planners,
orchestrators, whatever you like, the people running it,
the people
very rude to Mr. Doc Holiday, who I will allow him to say his piece of his version of the story.
Yeah, let him.
Because I would rather hear it that way.
Yeah, definitely.
So
that's kind of nuts.
I'll say that right now, but like it was. But overall, the actual experience was great. However, the staff at Palais des Congrès could kind of.
Nope, not yet. Wait for it.
Wait. Can we wait for it? Okay, I'll wait.
Yeah, we will wait for it. My weekend consisted of. You know what? I don't really remember. Okay, Saturday. I went to. It was a gala for early educators, and they booked comedic talent. Friend of the show, Andrew, the comedian Seals, who was in town, who has been in town, has visited the show. Andrew, we mad at you. He had a show that night, but then his boys, some of his co-headliners that were supposed to be on his show or whatnot, ended up being at this little small event. Neil Jana was one of the comedians. He did okay. The second guy, who I'm gonna have to remember his name because it's gonna bother me, but like just knowing to play to your crowd, knowing the crowd that you're playing to will save you in comedic events if you are a comedian. And the fact that this man knew to very much, the second guy, lean into the very much aspects of francophonisms in Quebec and certain little things here and there, very much won him over with the 35 to 40 to 50 club over. I'll get his name after, but what escapes me is the fact that, I mean, and not what escapes me, what bothered me, the one little hiccup I had with his comedic style, was that, so obviously there's always, like, you're in a room and there's like 3 black people there that you notice, so you're gonna obviously come off with the black jokes, funny, except for he made all of us sound like Eddie Murphy, like delirious Eddie Murphy, like yeah type Eddie Murphy. It's weird, it's awkward. He had a very dated joke. I'll bring Brian in for this one. What up, dog? Oh no, not yet. he had a very dated joke in which he says, "Hey, ben, a rapper recently was revoked his ability to perform in somewhere, due to whatever. It's rapper Chris Brown." I was just like, whoa. First of all, that's a 20. When did that happen?
Like 10 years
before 2010, I want to say.
Yeah. So that's
anyway.
Yeah.
So
that's reaching really
super
odd hanging fruit.
Reach upon them, all the reaches. It was weird. It was very strange because you're just like, well, A, you know that's wrong information. B, you're pulling from a bag from like 10 years ago. Why are we pulling from this bag? I don't know. He had the crowd, he had everything, he killed it up until that point, at which point I was like, yeah, so I can't roll with you. This is the second guy, not Neil Gana.
Okay, no, I thought you were saying like he had a good set and then he just lost you at this point. So I was like, are you telling me he had a good set and he fucked up the dismount, basically?
Yeah. If you could mess up dismounts, this is he messed up the dismount. You could say that. He kind of like very much had it and then lost it very quickly, and I'm just not sure of what exactly happened to it. I'm not exactly sure. I'm lost and confused, and yeah, I'm just gonna get his name to not shit on him, but to just hopefully help him out a bit. His name was
Shitty Comedian. No, I'm sorry. I don't know if that's his name.
It could have been his name. No, hold on. I'm gonna find his name.
If you're gonna go into jokes that are 10 years old and make references, first of all, Chris Brown's not a rapper.
He's not a rapper. And I wish they like, if you're gonna do, I understand he did that because he knew no one in the crowd would either correct him or know the difference, or at least he thought. But like, I don't know. I felt like when
I get that comedians aren't journalists, but you still have to be
Gino Durante.
If you're gonna talk about a joke, you should know the facts so that you don't fuck up the joke.
At the very least, if you're going to set up a joke, unless the joke is that you don't know something, in which case, your ignorance is the joke and you're poking fun at yourself.
Well, the accumulation of the joke was the fact that him getting rejected by the border would be like a Frenchman giving him like a rap and being like, haha, rapper, that like whackness that like you're just like, this is dated, this is bad, but this can only fly here because no one else is gonna call you off for it. So Gino Durante, do better next time. I didn't call him out. I was just like, I went up to him after and I was like, good set. I like how all the black people sounded like Eddie Murphy, and he had this weird like look on his face. Like, he didn't think that someone would be old enough to be able to call him out on that specific reference, and be bold enough to be like, yeah, you just played black people in a crowd where you didn't think there was any black people, and you found me, the wrong guy. The wrong guy. So anyways, afterwards, he came to me, he's like, oh no, do you remember like that one weekend update? It was from that. I was like, you're still admitting that you're biting. Didn't say that.
It's the same thing.
It's like, dude, so you're referencing the weekend, like, come on, man.
So Neil Jana, you didn't hit the crowd as much, but I feel like your approach and your originality helped you. I liked you a lot better. Homeboy, Gino, you started off really well, And then you just did some cultural references that you didn't need to do. And that's how I know you don't have many black friends. All right.
Yeah.
And I'll reiterate that with the staffers at Palais de Congrès could suck a dick.
Yep, double back. Brian, staffers at Palais de Congrès. How'd they treat you, sir?
They treat me?
How'd they treat you? Yeah. This past weekend.
Oh,
sorry. Palais des Arts. The Palais des Arts.
Palais des Arts.
Oh,
Palais de
yeah,
Congrès
Palais de Congrès is the conference, and I was
Sorry,
just like,
I always
I've
mix.
had a
I
great
always.
experience.
I subconsciously, for some weird reason, mix them up in my brain. That's a me thing. Sorry,
You're
Place
mixed
des
up
Arts.
there, bud.
It is.
So to the redheaded homie who was on the Corbeil for the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back orchestra or symphony performance at Sunday at 2:00 on the Corbeil even side. Fuck you. I wish you the exact same energy you put out into the world. And that's saying a lot because you put out shitty ass energy. You were a horrible person. You don't respect anybody. And when I was trying to explain the situation, you were just like, we can't disturb the other patrons. All the other patrons happen to be white people sitting in my seat. I'm a black guy with his partner. I show up. I'm telling you, I have my ticket with my seat number. You're telling me, oh, well, we don't want to disturb the other patrons. Homie, we got there 15 minutes late. I saw 20 other people rushing into the building, rushing into the to see the show. We weren't the only ones who were late.
You don't want to disturb the patrons. What, the patrons that be in my seat?
Thank you.
That I paid for, bro?
Thank you. How am I disturbing? You know who's disturbing? They are. They're in the wrong fucking seat.
And they know they're in the wrong seat.
seat.
Nigga, you
I'm
can
not
read.
in the wrong seat. I know what my seat number is. My seat number's on my ticket. You're going to tell me I have to wait till intermission, which Dave was at the show. Intermission was an hour and 10 minutes later. So what? $250 tickets. And you want me to miss half the show because these people are in my seat, and then you're gonna tell me, "Oh yeah, this." And then when I get downstairs, the box office, two ladies at the box office, shout out to them, respect to them because they tried their best. Shout out to their boss who tried to get us and fix the shit. Everyone there is saying like that's weird because we've kicked people out of seats multiple times.
So
you just tell them, "Hey, you're in the wrong seat."
Is this Ginger homie who wasn't too happy to see
Ginger
another one of
homie
his
is
princesses
a
with you?
prick. He's a prick.
Yeah. Ginger homie was on some shiz naive that day.
This is what I have for Ginger homie. No,
don't you just like, because you know it's not because it's not because like he chose to be a dick.
Yeah, he did. That's exactly it. That's you.
He chose to be a dick, and he knows that no one really is gonna come for him and call him. Like this is one of those shots that you could shoot for, and you're like, I could get slapped on the wrist, or no one could actually really look for him. That's annoying.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
So, you know, I was just like, I said to my girl, I was just like, hey, let's just bounce. We're obviously not waiting
for an hour.
And they're lucky that I didn't care enough because Star Wars is cool and all, but I'm not like Empire Strikes Back. Great job. Symphony playing before them. Beautiful. I've seen symphonies. Don't get me wrong. I would have liked to have seen the show. It would have been cool, but I'm also okay not seeing the show. My partner was working night shifts. She slept only 4 hours to accommodate so that we could go to the show. We get to the show and this is what happens. I was just like, bun that. Let's just go. Let's just bounce. I don't care. And then we got the money refunded and it was all good. And again, to the people at the box office who pure respectfully tried to fix everything, tried to offer us better seats for the 7 p.m. show. They're like, we can give you floor for later at the 7 p.m. show. I was just like, no, she's working nights. That's why we have to come right now. They're like, we're so sorry. We're just like, it's not on you. It's your boy though. Redheaded dude, Corbeil, even side. Go talk to him because he's out here acting real stupid. And they're just like, we're really sorry about that. I'm just like, hey man, again, I accept the apology, but you guys have to do something about that guy because the way he handled that situation is not okay.
Yeah.
You can't just tell somebody, yeah, sorry, you're 15 minutes late. You can't have your seats. Someone else is sitting in them. Really? Because if that's the case, I'm going to show up and I'm going to go to the floor and just grab front row seats. And if someone doesn't show up in the first 5 minutes, be like, well, you can't disturb the rest of the audience.
What happened to those people who were in your seat? Man.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking rude. And the worst part is...
Wait, did you see the people that were in your seats?
Yeah.
Or did he...
We went in,
and
the usher, this lady as the usher, goes down and gets us to D and tells us, you're D20. We're like, okay. So she points and she's just like, you just have to keep going down. So we're going down, and then there's people in the row, and they're all looking at us confused. So we get all the way to the other side.
Yeah.
Because there's people in our seats, so we didn't see empty seats.
You didn't see D20 itself, so you didn't even see.
Yeah, we can't see the number because the theater's dark.
Ah,
yeah, because it was pitch black.
God damn.
Oh yeah. Oh guys, if I was there and I saw my
D20, bro,
the usher wouldn't have had to do shit. I would have been like, "Hey, get on my seat.
Move from up my seats." Exactly. That's
no problem.
And
the lady asked them for their tickets, but they started acting stupid. They're like they started like fumbling in the bag and stuff, and it's just like, yo. And then they like handed her a piece of paper. It was the receipt, not the ticket.
Dog.
No, those people are being fucking whack, man. That's some fucking shit.
Hey, again, of course they're being whack. They don't want to give up the seat. You know who's supposed to make them give up the seat?
The usher.
People who run the venue. That's the whole point.
Definitely might have put them people there, man. I'm trying to go see a show at that spot right now just so I can see that redhead. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna buy tickets to a show I don't care about just to see this man.
I would have been like right outside the doors and just would have started screaming until someone came to me and been like,
you know, Dave, if Michelle hadn't been like sleep deprived,
yes,
if she had not just worked a night shift,
I get that now.
Had he been by himself, yeah,
if I was by myself or with a friend, like if I was with one of you guys.
Oh, I would have enjoyed it. I'd been like, can I get some popcorn?
Yeah, I would have 100% been like, listen, y'all need to get those people out of my seats, because the only other thing that's going to happen is I go back in there and start looking with my phone with the flashlight to find D20 myself, and I tell them to get out. Those are your two options. Because either you guys ask them to leave, I go back with my cell phone, or as I go back with my cell phone, you get security, and we end up disturbing everyone way more than if you just did your jobs.
Yeah,
because if you just did your jobs, if you just did your job, because guess what, guys? Here's the thing that really bothers me: those people that work at the theater know exactly which seat was D20 and D20. 22
for sure.
Yeah,
100%. Because guess what? They work there, so they know exactly which seats. I don't know which seat.
Or worst case, they actually have the floor plan, and they could be like, D20 is here, and D is here, 20 is here, and bam,
there you go.
And then they just go up to them and say, hey, check, open your legs, like, you know, because you're gonna have to see. Okay, you two bounce.
Yeah,
like, because they technically what should have happened is once you address them in that way, it should have been. Usher figures out which seat it is, walks the seat, says ticket. If you don't give me a ticket now, leave. If not, security. So obviously threaten them to the point of getting them to leave. They go to you, sorry, sir, please have your seat. That's how that should be. That's their job. That's what you paid.
Preaching to a choir of the informed, my friend. I am on the same page with you. I completely understand.
It makes me so angry because since we were going, I didn't realize you were going until you were texting me.
Right.
So I was there. I'm like, sick. I could talk to Brian. Oh no, I can't.
Yeah. When you were just
I can't leave. Like, all due respect to you, but
no, dude, that's fine. Like, I was joking, by the way. For all of you listening and watching, at one point I'm in the group chat for this podcast. I'm out here telling Dave, like, yo, go upstairs to call Bay. I'm your head, dude. And poor Dave was probably just like, oh man, I'm
don't want to
black enough to try and have a nigga moment. Please leave me alone. Please don't ask me to do this.
A little bit. That day had a lot of shit going on in general. I didn't need to add that onto it.
I was trying to.
Did anything else? Did we discuss anything else on the pod yet?
No, just
nothing crazy.
Comedy, and I said that I enjoyed that. And I'm kind of happy that you were in tears. No, I didn't say anything about that day.
Okay. Are we allowed to discuss that day in any detail?
Sure, if you want.
I mean, it's your news, so I don't want to blow your spot.
Well, I mean, I'm engaged, boys.
Yay!
It happened. And what I will say is this: one, it's fucking hard to keep a secret for a very long time. And it's really hard to get someone else to convince someone else to do something and then convince them to believe that it was their idea.
Oh, Inception style.
Yeah. I inception this day, and I will give credit. So I had a whole day thing, and at the end of the day, I proposed. But it all started because my girl bought us tickets to this event, and instantly when she did, I'm like, "This is perfect," because our anniversary is May 4th.
Right.
She's loved Grogu, The Mandalorian, and her favorite movie of what she's seen so far is Empire Strikes Back.
It is the best.
So, and it's like classic, which is like more her style, whereas I bring the nerd. So I was just like, this is possibly the most perfect thing outside of like doing some fancy ass trip or whatever, but like some homegrown thing at house, in house. I was like, perfect. And throughout the rest of the day, I was like, oh, it's like, it was her birthday the same week. So I'm like, oh, we'll go to your favorite restaurant that day just because it's your birthday.
Yeah.
There you go. 3 weeks later, like, oh, it would be like saying in a joking fashion, like, oh yeah, we should still go to Mount Royal and have a moment. And she's like, oh, we should. They're like, oh no, that joke was so bad. Like, how dare we do this? Like a lot of like that.
All these great ideas are just coming to me. I don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
That's
but
funny.
no, she was really happy about it. It was a surprise. It went off relatively swimmingly, but one example of why I am marrying my love, Eva, I love you.
Well, he getting the brownie getting the brownie
her
points.
engagement gift to me, which she already had because she was guessing that it was going to happen sooner than later.
Wait, hold on. You got an engagement gift?
I got a
you an
gift.
engagement. I love that she got you the
small.
engagement gift.
It was small.
What the fuck is an engagement gift?
Some people do that.
What is that, right?
Some people do that.
So I have. It's just because this is the. I have
Skinny.
this. This is
I
like
got
The
the
marital system is just to give more gifts and spend money.
Oh, that's all it is. So for those who can't see, I'm holding up a fake.
You got a Revel check?
Aha! No, I a long time ago bought a Revolt Tech thinking I was buying the right one. I bought the wrong one. They explained why the price was so good, and it's really fucking cheap. She's heard me bitch about this for like however long I've had it.
Yeah.
She saw
you
one
bought a
downtown.
Geek
She saw a real one downtown a few weeks ago and bought it just because she's like, this bothers you. And I know you would never buy it for yourself because you bought the wrong one and you wouldn't do that. So I was just like, here you go, as like the engagement gift. So I'm like, you know me. You know. So that's
well,
why.
dude, congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, I know. It's funny because on That's Canon, I was editing episodes that play on the weekend, every second weekend, Sundays at 11. I play or Saturdays at 11, I think. Sorry. We played That's Canon episodes. And there was one that I was editing where you were talking, like the early part of the episode is us like talking, just shooting the shit about like dating apps and things being kind of ridiculous. And then there's an episode of Geektastic where we talked about it. We even titled the episode, it's like so long ago, but we even titled the episode something about like dating apps are the new. I don't remember what we titled it. Anyways, all that to say, we've all talked about on this show over the years because I think we were pretty much all single when we started the show, or not with the people we are with right now.
Yeah.
We all talked about the dating game and meeting people not necessarily always being the easiest. And it'd be great to meet someone that we really connect with. And I remember when you started talking about Eva, how excited you were. And you like right from the start, you kept talking about like, like she understands and she's like open to exploring the geek stuff with me. And like, I know how important geek stuff is to you. And that's similar to me. When I met my partner, my ex is not into geek stuff at all. And it was always just like, anytime we did anything geek related, it was like a burden on her shoulders. And it was just, this isn't fun because you're not having fun. But now with my partner, like my partner and I, our first kind of date was like Comic-Con. So like it worked out. And that's I'm so happy for you, man, because this is like really exciting. Engagement.
It's,
and that means all three of you are engaged. You, Jaws, and Skinny.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Basically, sure.
I've joined that league. Then it's like catching a Pokeball, and then we're gonna level up to actually married.
Now y'all niggas still gotta catch up with me.
I'm so into my ring.
Wait, what?
We've had this conversation.
I know, but
I've told my partner she's the one proposing. So
This nigga, you just saved yourself
that was
you saved
a
yourself like $2,000 by doing that.
That was a first type of conversation thing with us. I told her from jump,
You're gonna feel so goofy.
I'm really happy that you've decided to give me a chance, because you guys know the story of my partner. Like, I met her, she wasn't into me and was just like, I just want to be friends. Like, I'm not interested in you. And I was like, cool,
you broke her down,
and
man. You told me that story. I remember that.
Yeah, we stayed friends, and I dated other people, but I liked hanging out with her. And then,
Dave, I've never seen Brian work for something more in my life.
Honestly, when it came to a relationship, it's true, because every other
never seen a guy. I've never seen a nigga have more Subway.
this girl,
for no reason, boy. You don't like sandwiches like that.
I was on the diet. She was working there, and I was on the diet. Yeah,
Dude's
but
on,
no joke. So one of the things when we finally started dating and things got serious, I said to her, because we, you have some of those conversations early on, like marriage, kids, stuff like that. And I said, I explained where I was at. She explained where she was at. And I was like, one thing, though, you're the one proposing. And I said from jump, you're the one proposing. So,
but did she take that as like a seriousness?
Yes.
Did she understand?
I have always said it. And she doesn't have to get me a ring, because she's already done something specific that is far more than a ring is worth. That I won't go into details, but she's already put money down on something that I could never even try and match. So it's like, you don't even need to get the ring. You literally just ask the question, and the thing you did before is the ring. So if she's listening, I'm just, I'm a size 10 ring. No, I'm joking. I don't know what my ring size is at all. I'm not like saying numbers out here. I have no clue.
How'd you find her ring size, homie?
I actually don't. Oh,
it's actually it's a tool. So there's like a.
I know there's a tool, but I'm like, how'd you get it? Like,
yeah.
There's
how'd I get it?
Ring sizing. How'd you get it? You didn't just be like, hey, can I have your ring size?
Yeah. No. See, so that's where technically that's where the manipulation started with.
You broke one of the rings, didn't you?
No, December of last year. December of this year. No, last year, this past December.
2021.
We were talking about it like this or that, and I was like already like kind of in the this will happen someday, but like I don't want to deal with all that. So I could ask it now, and she'll either forget or she'll always ask me, and I'll just say I never read it. I told her like in that month, like send me an email about like details about rings that you would like. And I know my girlfriend, and she went like ham. And then my defense, when she's like, okay, so you could read it now. I'm like, why would I read it? She's like, but why? I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know your ring size. And she's like, and she went and grabbed a ring and she handed me a ring. She's like, this is my ring size. I'm like, what do you mean? They have a mistake. And she explained to me like, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I literally took it and like kind of like just threw it to the side. That's what I'm doing, right? But in the conversation, in like my brain, and like the other alternate reality, I'm like, just give me the ring, hand me the ring, sweet baby Jesus. I have the gold. I just need to put it down.
I just need the info.
But I'm acting like the biggest asshole ever the whole time.
You're lucky you didn't get smacked.
Jesus.
I did. I
waited till she was asleep and slipped the ring.
You had to do it when she was asleep?
I've had to eat a lot of shit during this period of time to get the information to accomplish these goals. I even told her, she's like, how'd you do it? I'm like, I look at her, I'm like, I ate a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I love you so much.
I think
there's so many times.
I'm here. No, my Wi-Fi is acting crazy, but no, Danielle, she fell asleep and I just slid the ring sizes on her finger and just figured it out that way while she was asleep.
Oh, I don't know what. I didn't feel it.
And then when I got
I do that, my girlfriend would wake up and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
That's why, educators, they pass out. So when I got the ring to make sure, I busted out and tested it on her finger still.
Oh,
and then I put it away. Yeah, I'm not playing, bro. For what
I see, a deep sleeper, dude. That is wild.
Yeah, you think I'm gonna spend that kind of money and not be sure? No,
I love that. I love that you put the ring on her finger before she even knew about it. That is 100%.
It was like 2 days before I popped. I was just like, nah, I need to make sure this shit fits. So she was sound asleep. I grabbed up the finger and I was just like,
No,
Come
yo,
on.
dude, I respect it. Yo, to all the guys and anyone
That's
out there,
wild.
anyone who's interested in proposing, not even just guys, anyone out there who's going to propose to their partner, this is how you do it. You play mind games. You get ring sizes. You put rings on finger when people are asleep. Hint, hint.
It is
Partner.
really the only time to be the most
I
secretive.
feel like Brian's starting to get a little antsy here.
I mean,
think
yeah.
think
No, I'm
he's-
playing again. I don't need a ring. Like I said, I it's all been taken care of. I'm just, if ever she feels like asking. I'm also of the mindset, like, I'm happy for you guys. I don't necessarily, like, I'm cool with doing it this way. Common law is cool in Quebec, and I feel like the ratio actually works out because I'm pretty sure 25% of Quebec is just common law. So 1 out of 4, I would be the 1 out of 4. And
Bunch of niggas who can just leave.
You can't. That's the thing, though. Once you start filing the taxes together, it's not that easy. That's the problem. Because Quebec is actually,
no.
yeah, Quebec is not that easy. Who's the guy that did it? Is it the head of Cirque du Soleil? Yeah, the head of Cirque du Soleil. One of the either the head of Cirque du Soleil or like the French dude from Just for one of those guys was common law and never actually got married, and then had to go to court with the partner, and she took him to court because she's just like, homie, you can't just bounce like that. I know you didn't put a ring on it, but we've been living together. We have a certain lifestyle. We have kids together, and what, you're just gonna bounce and leave, and then I'm supposed to just go, oh, I dedicated all this time to raising your kids, and you're not gonna figure out financially how to help me? That's not how it goes.
No. I had a certain lifestyle. You happen to stick around. That's how.
No, but you had kids with the person. Yes, he's making sure someone didn't hear him.
Yeah, man. Oh, hold on. I might have to go handle that real quick.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh shit!
That's funny.
You're gonna come back with a black eye, y'all.
Not even just a palm print on his face.
Yeah. With the ring, the engagement ring.
Yeah. It's like a bigger. It's like a hue. Oh man! I don't want that to happen, but I kind of do want that to happen.
I know, it would be funny. All to say, like, Quebec has, because we're in Quebec and Quebec has certain rules. It was funny because it's funny that came up when I met Caroline Ray at Just for Laughs last time, which, again, very random, awesome time. But one of the things, Caroline Ray was with her friend, and the first thing she started telling her friend, because she asked me and my partner, "Are you guys married?" And we're just like, "No, we're just living together and we have a place together and stuff like that." And she's just like, right. She's just like, because in Quebec, common law is a pretty common thing. And we're like, yeah, we're pretty much common law at this point because, we've been together for X amount of years, living together, taxes, all that stuff. And she's just like, yeah. And then she turns to her friend. She's just like, that's the thing in Quebec. Common law is so common. A lot of them don't even get married. Also, if they get married, she legally doesn't take his name and all that stuff. So, the friend was just like, what? Why is it so backwards here? And I mean, I don't think it's backwards. I grew up here, so I'm just used to it.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, like,
do you think? I mean, I guess we'd have to ask Eva. But are you guys gonna do old fashioned and try and add the name on, or just gonna?
Well, I think it's gonna be like, it's not gonna be if I had to guess, it wouldn't be a replacement. It'd be like her last name dash my name, like
right.
Yeah. Like I know that she wants at least that. That I could say. We've talked about that in the past.
That's cool.
For me, like, for me, it's just like the only reason why I feel like the name system should just like go to one name, and this is just me, because eventually you're gonna end up having people with like if they're stubborn enough, 10 last names. You know what I mean?
No,
not now. No, but example, because like let's say we have kids eventually. Like, do we call them my name or do we call them her dash my name? Like, you know what I mean? Her family slash my name.
Do the hyphenated name.
Yeah, but then when they get married,
like, then when they get married, they take their if they choose, paternal last name. Like Spanish families already do this. In Spain.
Oh, so like let's say I had a person who married into a
by the way,
daughter,
I'll just explain real quick to people. The reason I know this is because I used to be the guy who registered people women who are delivering in obstetrics at hospitals. So I actually regularly had to fill out this paperwork, the legal documentation to register a child who was being born. This is the only reason I know this stuff, and it's very, very interesting depending on what culture. But go ahead, Dave. You were about to ask.
So if let's say, just because I don't feel like using our names, like let's say it's Smith and Adams that are, or sorry,
yeah, sure. Your last name's Smith.
Laura and Adams. Those are the two last names, Laura and Adams, right?
Sorry, what? Laura?
Let's say the last names are Laura and Adams, just to say for the sake of making them guys and girls names. So you're saying that if our child who has Laura and Adams at the end of their name, because that's our two last names, if they marry into something else, it would be X, the person they're marrying in, and Adams?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
In Quebec, it's usually from the hyphenated name, you usually take the paternal last name from both families to give to the child.
Oh, okay.
In Spain, they also do that, but the names are, the last name is hyphenated with the paternal name first and the maternal name second. So like when you meet someone that's like let's say Giancarlo is the first name and the last name is Gutierrez Fernando, that means the last name is Gutierrez is the father's last name and the grandfather's last name, and Fernando is the mother's father's name, and that she's carrying. That was the first name on hers. But then when that kid now has a kid, they're gonna pass on the Gutierrez, not the Fernando.
Okay, I get it.
But yeah. But dude, and it's funny because I've been in situations where someone from Spain who was having a child here with someone from Quebec, they were fighting over the order of the names. And the woman was saying like, hey, my dad's last name has to go in my dad's last name goes in front and your dad's last name goes behind, and that's fine. It works out for us. But when the kid like has his own kid, he's gonna have to keep my dad's last name. And the husband was just like, wait, why wouldn't he put my last name? Because here, that last name is the one he should be carrying on. And they were already arguing about what their grandkid's name was going to be, and the baby was being born. It was interesting to see these arguments when I worked at the hospital. You'd have like moms, like the grandmother, quote unquote, would be there with the husband filling out the paperwork, arguing with the husband about how the names are going to be written while the woman is upstairs delivering. Dude, it was always so crazy. This is why anytime I talk to my friends who are thinking of having kids, I tell them, have the conversation about the naming of at least the last name, not the first name, because they don't let you put the first name on the form until after the kid's born, but at least the last name. Have that conversation before, because if you don't, once you start that documentation, and like these are like the legal documents to create people in the system, like this is how your kid gets into the system, gets healthcare, gets all that stuff. Fill out that form properly, because they do not like when those papers have scratches on them and stuff like that. They get real suspicious, which makes sense. You're about to register someone for being a child of the state. They're gonna be like, "Why are you scratching out these letters over here and writing this over there?" Like, you know,
for sure.
Looks sus.
Skinny's like walking into this conversation, like, "What the fuck?"
Skinny, I'll ask you offline, because I wanted to ask how you guys figured out the naming convention, but that's no one else's business, and we're not gonna make that public.
Do tell. I mean,
we were talking about, because Dave was talking about how, when him and his partner are going to get married, I asked, will your partner be taking on your last name? Because in Quebec, we don't tend to do that. Some people do add the hyphen, but you don't have to. And then I was saying, and then we were talking about kids naming conventions, because Dave was saying like, well, how's our kid's name going to be? Is the kid's name going to be our names hyphenated together? And I was like, yeah. And in Quebec, it's standard for the last name to be the paternal last name last, but in some cultures, like in Spain, it's the paternal's last name first. So I was going to ask you, what's your kid how did you guys place the last names for your kid? But I feel like that's obviously not something we
my
necessarily-
last name is the one that's on the birth certificates.
Okay.
But Danielle's last name counts as a second middle name,
like a middle name. See, okay, yes,
So,
that's
like,
Dave. That's actually
yeah.
something people do too.
Yeah, so we have like it's Lucien, Crevier, and then Roberts, but then we have the first part, so it's like it's
Cool.
all there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wild times being parents. All you
Oh, I
crazy
still
people.
don't understand what to do when like Clinic Mednam and people will call me, be like, "Yeah, we're trying to reach so on Roberts." I'm just like, "Who?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I have an offspring." It takes me like a good year, 6 months to be like, right, I legit have a live being that has my name.
That's so funny.
It's different. It's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. Why are they calling? Anyways, yeah, this is like
What?
you don't have anything in the file that shows how old this person is. Like, what are you talking about? But
they try to book doctor's appointments for a grown ass baby. It's like, all right, can't talk, man. What do you want? Like, obviously, I'm gonna be the one answering the phone. Like, don't act weird.
Did you guys watch anything fun recently?
Oh man, did I ever? I watched many Untold stories. So last week we talked about what uncoupled. This week I got the TV back, and I got to watch Untold, the story of Manti Te'o, which I mean is just a man who got catfished in college and decided.
Isn't that like the national story from that NCAA football kid?
Yeah. NCAA. He was on ESPN, all the sorts. He played for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
He didn't want to play for Notre Dame originally because he's like super religious, so on and so forth. Had a hard time finding himself there. Laid back into his religion,
and he dedicated the game to his dad.
He dedicated his season. His grandmother who had passed away that morning, and to the girlfriend who had been feeling guilty about catfishing a grown man for years, and then she decided to like kill her off herself through
the character.
But like the character was playing like, first of all, the character was playing like several different people, including like a brother, the sister, the person, the girl herself, and it was a 16-year-old or 18, 17-year-old boy at the time who is now trans. So and then they add that, which is funny. They add the tidbit at the beginning of the episode being like, please note that at the time of the recording, Untold was not aware that so on and so forth was a trans. And I'm just like, my nigga, can you not look? Like, yes, obviously, like it's right there. Like she's telling you. You don't have to put the disclaimer because
did they not ask the person before they did this?
Probably not. They just probably saw a guy. They probably saw a person in the garb of, and in this day and age, you're not going to judge or assume. So you're just like, hey, whatever.
Sure. But I mean, again, this goes back to what we were saying about the Chris Brown joke. Like the comedian is not a journalist, but guess what? If you're doing a documentary, you have to have some integrity, journalistic integrity, and do basic research.
No.
Well, in order to have integrity, you need to do that.
Yeah. That's right.
What's the worst part is that they tried to give like by the person who committed this kind of catfish to poor Manti Te'o, who I feel bad for because this guy lost out on millions. Like right before he was supposed to get drafted, he wasn't drafted until like 38th overall pick. Which is like dead last, I think, or almost dead last and they thought he was going to be like first round pick, and he wasn't first round pick. He played for the Chargers, not for long. Like it screwed up his career because no one knew if he was in on it or not. They were like, how did he not know all this stuff? And then they tried to do like a little side piece being like, oh, well, yeah, afterwards I realized that I was tired of pretending and that this is who I really was. So they do this little side piece to kind of like, I guess, make you feel like sympathetic for the person, but at the same time, you're like, nah, B, you need to go to jail. Like, what?
Yeah, I understand them trying to give us sympathy whenever someone is hiding, because the idea is like they didn't feel comfortable revealing themselves, but you can't tell me that what they were doing was okay because it's the expense of someone else's life. And emotional, like you're putting the emotional baggage of the situation onto someone else, and that is wholly unfair. So it's like, yeah, you can't do sympathy for the devil when someone full on fucks with you emotionally and tries to mess up your life by catfishing you.
The worst part is at one point. So the Renata was the name of the person. They were so intricate and messed up that they got like they would have a baby cousin that would come over to the house. So then Manti would be like, "Who's that?" And she's like, "Oh, that's like my little sister or whatever, my niece." So then he would have conversations with the niece, and like the person put the little girl in on it. So at one point after his games, at one point after one of his games, homie, who's actually the one catfishing. Keep in mind, Manti knew who this guy was. He knew of Renata, but he thought of it as Renata was my internet girlfriend's cousin. That's the only connection we have. Not realizing that Renata was the girl. So at one point, Mans goes to the game after the game so that the little kid really wanted to meet Manti Teo. Okay, this is what the girlfriend told Manti.
Yeah,
my little cousin, who's like 3 or 4, maybe 6, probably 3 or 4, because you have to be a little bit naive, really wants to meet you. So after a game, Renata shows up with the kid to meet Manti, and Manti's like, yeah, so where's my girl that I wanted to meet? Where's her family? Where's everybody?
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, they had to bounce. They just wanted you to meet the kid real quick. My nigga goes and hugs the kid, does all this, whatever, dead in the face of the man catfishing you, who will go on to later ruin your career and your life a little bit.
See, like that's where I can't feel the sympathy for the person who's catfishing, because again, you're manipulating and lying, and even if again, to anyone out there who's just like, yeah, but it's hard for them because they don't feel comfortable. I understand all of that, but doing something like this to someone is not okay. Like I get that it's hard if you are not sure of who you are, if you can't figure out how to identify, if you don't feel comfortable in your skin, if you don't feel that you can be open and honest about who you are publicly. I get all of that. But roping someone else in, lying to them, and tricking them into this situation and going on it for months and doing things like this where you tell them you're going to be at the football game, they think they're going to finally get to see you, and then it's you, the catfisher, being like, no, sorry, the person that I pretend to be isn't here. You just get me and the little kid that for some reason I've added to the story and the lie I'm selling you. It's like, what? Like that's levels on levels.
Wait, so I thought catfish used to be just a crappy term for when a girl or a guy is leading someone on to date them, but now it's evolved to like this type of manipulation.
Oh, no. It's always been this type of manipulation.
Yeah.
Some people dub it down.
Yeah.
So wait, so now catfishing is just
this level.
No, so you're using the wrong word by saying now. It has always been this, Dave. It's not now. Catfishing has always been this. Some people do it in different levels where they're just online.
The maximum level has always been.
Yeah.
Okay, because for me, I in my life experience, people won't use that term really in dating scenarios. So I've never heard it as like.
Well, that's it. This person was creating a fake girlfriend for this football player to date. And created a whole fake family and created fake instances and moments.
Wow.
Like that's why I'm saying like
work, bro.
Yeah,
like there's no level of catfishing that feels like it's okay. Dude, I don't know. I don't.
Being a sociopath is a point of that.
That seems like a lot of work.
Yes. Yeah. Some of these people live 2 whole lives. They have the life they actually live, and then they have this online life that they have to maintain. They create social media. They interact with people so that the person they're catfishing sees them interacting with other people through social media. It's crazy to think of how far some people will go to be like, I just want to keep this person latched on so that they'll keep caring about me. But it's like, again, I get that you feel lonely and that you feel disconnected, but what you're doing is a horrible thing to someone.
Wow.
Yeah, it's rough, man. And there's a whole show, like MTV has a whole series of like with people being catfished that was super popular, and people watch it and they're just like, did you see this episode where someone pretended to be Mariah Carey? And it's like, whoa, what are you guys don't think that's kind of cruel?
That's just so creepy.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, sometimes when I see that stuff, I'm just like, I don't get it. That's disrespectful. I feel like I always wonder if you could catfish someone our age, because I feel, and I'm sure you can, but I just feel like like Dave, you're also a kid of the late 80s, right? Born in the late 80s.
Well,
When
84.
Right. Oh, so yeah. Sorry, my bad. So 83. When the internet became a thing when we were kids, we were all told everyone you're talking to is lying. Like, remember?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like,
You're like, you cannot, anyone can, like, I remember
yeah.
when Google used to be a thing that was like, this is essentially a forum.
Right.
That's
Everyone
all it really
is lying. Google was a forum. MySpace was the hot shit. That's what the
Napster, we
internet used to
downloaded
be.
music, like that was it.
Yeah, Napster, LimeWire, like that was and again, every person you spoke to on the internet was lying. It was a creepy old man trying to kidnap you. So the idea of like creating like being catfish as a kid from the 80s, to me just seems like I would never trust someone unless I actually spoke to them or met them.
Yeah.
Like
I'd be like, yeah, there would have to be like either you meet, like there would have to be certain things to convince me that you're actually a person.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you talk to me, like even if you were to, let's say, call me to at least confirm, like, okay, there is a person on the other side, and now I know what your voice is. Because because unless someone has been reading our card, unless you're going real crazy,
right?
Like, super crazy, like now you're doing double teams of shit. That's fun, like, you know.
This could have been catfishing, but I'm gonna say from like end of high school, beginning of CJEP to like I think 19. Okay. For whatever random reason, not even shouts to this person because I don't like you no more. So Lance, go eat Manudix.
I love that you're like shouts. Wait, actually, I take
no shouts, like disdain to you. All the disdain. Yeah. This random number, private number, calls me one night. I'm obviously living with my parents, like have a phone, whatever, and I'm like, okay, private number calling me. On the other end, it's some girl. Anyways. Long story short, this person proceeds to tell me that their name is Sarah Miller. Still don't know if this person's real to this day. But we spoke for 3-4 years on and off, and it's not never had her phone number. So I couldn't reach her. All right.
Wait, so they were just calling you from a private number on the reg?
Reg. Like on the reg. When's on the reg? I wouldn't know because I'd have this person on like MSN, which back then niggas were lying, as you just said.
Right.
Everybody's lying. So
everyone's lying. The internet was just lying.
Everyone's lying. Your profile picture is like one of those stock butterfly bullshits. You asked for back in the day when asking for a photo wasn't weird. It was legit. Like I need to legit know if you're real. Yeah. This ain't weird. I'm not being a pervert. I want to know who you are.
I need you to hold up the latest issue of Maxim magazine next to your face, so I know.
I need you to write the date, all that, red marker. That's some kind of thing. Yeah, I need you to tell me 3 things that I would only know. That I told you, and write them on that piece of paper with your face smiling ear to ear. Stop that. Yeah. So, few pictures, but like they all seemed kind of like dated. It was like weird. Yeah. Facebook friends when Facebook just came out, so this is before 2006. Had like no friends. Just like it was just weird, just very, very, very weird. Till finally, like, I think I just stopped answering private numbers because I was just like, this is fucked up. Like, what am I really doing here?
But with this Sarah Miller, actually a few questions. Let's go. Bring them. I have questions. So first of all, So did she tell you whatever would be her age? Did she identify an age with you?
We were the same age.
Okay.
She went. I knew that we were the same age. She apparently went to LaSalle Catholic, and that is all I knew.
So you had confirmation that she was a Montrealer as well,
bro. Yeah. Montrealer. Just and at the time we couldn't do the mutual friends thing. We couldn't do like it was so. Oh man, like.
But you're telling me
2 more years in technology, and I could have found this person within seconds.
Right.
So you get this phone call. This person mistakenly calls you. Apparently,
mistakenly calls me. Yeah,
calls
but then,
you.
Like,
right?
Yeah.
But then you smooth talk around, and then she just proceeds to randomly call you.
It wasn't like, even a smooth talk. It was just like, hey.
Would she call your parents to an answer, and she'd be like, "Can I
hate on your own smooth talk, homie?"
No, because again, it was my cell phone, so she just had.
Okay. For a second, I thought it was your house.
The number you have for me,
there was questions.
No, man, the number you have for me is a number I've had since like
right. Same,
Right?
same.
Same.
So, like-
Well, same
I haven't
last
changed
four,
my-
but no.
I haven't
Never
changed my
changed
phone
my
number
number,
since I was
so-
like 17.
Right.
I for me, it's always the last four have always stayed the same. There was one time my first three got switched.
Yeah, so I never changed, and then there's that. So I mean, this person could have my number all sorts. This person could have been a dude named Jim. I don't know. Like, I still would really never know, and that's how
That's so
far catfishing could go, which is
Right.
super nuts.
I mean, I remember when I was in elementary school, we used to do party calls, right? So like people would three-way call you with other people just to chat and shoot the shit.
Yeah.
And these two girls in my elementary school, it was the first time because I'd gone to a French elementary school. I ended up in an English elementary school, brand new school, don't really know anybody. I've made some friends. It's all been cool. These two girls are just like, oh, Brian, we're gonna three-way call you with my cousin because I think you get along with her. And then they conference called me, and the cousin sounded exactly like one of the girls. And I was just
You're
like,
nigga, if you don't get the fuck out of here.
I was just like, cool story, yo. Like, we had conversations. We talked about 90210, the original one, because that was the only thing kids talked about back then, and just shoot the shit. Oh, the one thing that was cool though, she was into reggae. So I was just like, okay. So we started talking about reggae and stuff like that, and I was just like, yo, you actually seem to know your shit. But again, it sounded like the girl that I was in school, so I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I was just like, so I remember going to school like the next day, and the girl that I thought it was being like, so how'd you like talking to my cousin? I'm like, nah, I don't like talking to your cousin. She seems weird. And the girl's just like, and the girl's face was like,
crush.
Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, sorry. I mean, she just seems like it was fun conversation, but I don't know. She's being kind of weird on the phone, so I'm good.
Look, Lisa, if you slow-mo it, you could actually pinpoint the exact moment where you crushed her heart.
I was just like, I was like, I'm not going to play this game where someone outright seems like they're playing me. Like this seems like obviously you could tell I am not a trusting person either. Like even
You
like
don't say.
11-year-old Brian was just like, I don't trust nobody.
Yo, someone calls me on the phone that sounds distinguishedly like The Rock. I'm still gonna be like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, right.
I don't care who you.
That's what I'm saying.
This is James Earl Jones. Yeah, right.
Yeah. How about you reach this spot, we meet in person, then I'll believe you.
Hello, sir. It's Keith David. Oh yeah, Goliath. Oh yeah. You need to show me your face, boy.
Shit, motherfucker. At this point, I wouldn't believe a cameo. I'd be like, nah, this is some computers generated with a voice modulating thing. Get the real Keith David here. Right? Sir, this is Keith David. We got you a cameo from Keith David, your favorite voice actor. He's done all the voices for all the characters. You're just like, nah, I don't trust you.
Yo, it's crazy. We lived in a time where we could just ask for photos and it was normal because you had to know. You can't do any of that now.
This is one of the greatest comments. I know you guys both read it already because I could see your faces look confused. To the person who decided to ask about autoerotic asphyxiation for a fish, you are a wonderful catfisher. This is some more catfish weirdness. Yeah. This is the internet, people. This is what we were talking about.
You're just further proving the point.
Everyone's fake. The internet's a stupid place, but hey, we're all addicted to it, so there's no getting out now. That's the problem. We're all stuck in it. Go ahead. I dare one of you.
Put it in my veins.
I dare one of you, not you guys here, but anyone watching this or anyone listening, I dare you to not use the internet for 1 week. For 1 week. I dare you. Try it. Try it.
I would love to do that with the exception of like work.
No, of course, you can still work. I mean, if it's your job, it's your job. I'm not going to tell someone don't. Imagine you go to work, it's like, hey, I'm doing an internet-free week, so can you give me only paperwork in the office? Like, no. Obviously, within reason, if it's for your job, it's your job, fine. But no social media, no nothing, no watching anything on Prime or Net. It's only cable or antennas. It's only calling people or texting people. You can't even do the read on your on your text message. Turn the read off. Turn all your internet off. No data usage. No Wi-Fi usage at the house. None of it for 1 week. And at work, you use the internet as needed for work, not for social media or anything else. Go ahead. And you know what? If you can do it for real, I'll give you $100. I said it right here.
Oh, fuck.
I'll give you $100. I'll give you $100. You got to prove it though. You no burners.
No burners, he says.
Burner phones.
We know people. Dude, I have 3 phones in front of me. I have all my old phones that are all Wi-Fi connected. So I know what people can do to get out of a situation.
Oh
You tell them they can't do this shit, they turn around and they just use a burner phone, and they're just out here on the sly in a Finsta account posting stories and stuff, getting their fix. No, man.
Yo, I don't know if I could actually do. Well, maybe internet. My phone, I don't know. Maybe
1 week.
It's hard. It's very hard because I'm like, you got to be on. But like,
Of course it's hard. That's the whole point, and that's the point I'm trying to make. We are addicted to the internet.
I don't even know if someone's addicted. This is just another funny play story about situations and such. But I'm out, and I checked out Taste of the Caribbean this weekend. I went on a Sunday.
Love it.
Boom Jay's was like the most popping spot, and I didn't even actually eat any food. I just was there for the scene and check it out. So I'm there with my boy, and he's like, I'm just like, yo, like, I know we just met up, but like I might have to kick it at like 7:30 because it's a Sunday and I got a kid and I've been out all day, so you know, whatever. And he was like, yeah, that's cool. And then like at one point, like I get a message and then I'm just like, oh, I might have to go earlier. She wanted to, but anyways, long story short, he's just like, I don't know, man. When I'm out, like I'm just out. So like I don't even check my phone and stuff. I'm just like, yeah, nigga, that's why you're not with your girl. Because I cannot be doing that shit. And it's just very funny how like some people's immediate reaction is just be like, whatever, just lock your phone off and like just ignore the person who could be possibly trying to reach you. And I was like I live in paranoia. Call it the wheat, but like I'd rather live in the paranoia than to be like just like la la la.
Yeah.
And then when things blow up, you're just like no versus being prepared and
you know what, one of the things that I imagine our parents went through that we don't have to go through in the same way is I remember when I was a kid, there was a mix up at my school for my lunch break in kindergarten. No, grade 1. I usually used to go home for lunch because I lived a block away. And one time the substitute teacher didn't believe me and made me go with everyone to the cafeteria as opposed to waiting in the front for my mom like I used to. So when my mom showed up, she didn't know where I was. And then I was in the cafeteria and I wasn't allowed to leave because the monitors don't know that I'm supposed to be waiting at the front. And they're like, we're not going to let a kid just leave. So the monitors are making me stay. No one's listening to me.
Your mom was mad.
Right. But my mom thought I was kidnapped.
Yeah.
Because what happens when you show up at the school, your kid's not where the kid's supposed to be. You're asking everybody. No one can tell you. The principal is saying we're looking for him. Like you start to panic.
For sure.
But imagine, and I know we don't want to give kids cell phones, but imagine I had a cell phone or one of those little kitty tablets or something that had the little tracer on me. And my mom's like, oh, he's in the cafeteria. This is why, like, you know, when you're saying your buddy's just like, nah, man, I just turned my phone off. It's just like, I mean, sure, you can do that. You can live in that old school way of just not needing to know. And if something happens. You find out when you find out. And that's okay if you want to do that. But some of us like the fact that we have technology that can connect us. And again, that's why I'm making the point of, I'm not saying turn off your phones. I'm just saying turn off your data. You can still get texts and calls.
Yo data.
Get rid of your data.
Your data ain't your daddy.
This man,
ain't your daddy.
That better not be the title. Your daddy.
He's like, no, we're not doing that. Speaking of, I have no way to transition to this. I just wanted to shout out the folks at WatchMojo. They had me jump on for their She-Hulk review last week, and I'm jumping. Oh shoot!
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Instagram Live, I think it's usually at 11 on Fridays. So if you guys want to jump on the Instagram Live and watch me talk with Rebecca, the voice of WatchMojo, you can check that out on Friday, 11 a.m. I'll be on it.
I'm genuinely jealous.
Do you want to start talking some theories about She-Hulk? Because then I can use that as preparation for what I'm going to say. Obviously, there'll be a whole new episode, but...
So wait, are we practice? Did we get resorted to
No.
practice?
You think
We're
you're
talking about practice?
You think you're practice after 300 episodes? No.
Talking about
WatchMojo's the side chick. No, I'm playing.
Yeah.
I love WatchMojo. They're dope people. It's fun.
Yeah.
Sam and Rebecca were dope. It was a great conversation, and I thank them for having me on. And I look forward to being on again. But yeah, it's more just what do you guys think of that last episode? Because I thought that was cool.
Actually, if you guys want to talk about prep, sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
I might be in a situation where I'm speaking to the current showrunner for X-Men 97
Hey,
on Friday, depending
That's
on
awesome.
how things go. But I've been invited to be a part of this thing, and then they were like, "Hey." Every week they keep like last week they had somebody from AEW on, and shouts to Infinity Equation, but they love Canadians and they want some Canadian love. And I was just saying, if you guys had any questions that you want to ask some X-Men people, we could possibly do that. So as much as we're prepping Brian, y'all prepping me, Dave, you need a side hustle.
Fuck, I don't know how you get these connections. He goes to concerts and doesn't have a ticket, gets to the back room.
Right? Hey, listen, we will get back to him on that.
What is this stuff?
Who, me?
Both of you.
It's called being black. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, well, just sometimes with all the brutality and not wanting to drive in certain areas after nighttime and all this craziness, just being you might get you some free shit.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to wait.
Don't get me no free shit.
Yeah, but you don't get pulled over by the cops, Dave.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. That's the universe is trying to pay us back for the shitty shit that it puts us through by being like, hey. By the way, you got to meet Sam J and she got you into her show for free. All you had to do was deal with racist people and all the crap for the past week. And also get ripped off by Just for Laughs.
Did they ever pay you back?
Yeah, they did, thankfully.
Good.
That was very and I had to call a second time after the first payment. Anyways, I don't want to go back into that. But yes, I got partially paid back and then fully paid back a couple days later. Even though everything everything was done on the same day in the same 20 minutes. Somehow it took 3 days to pay it all back.
Bro, don't get me started on the 5 to 7 business day bullshit. Actually, bullshit. Fuck it. Let's go. I don't understand how things can be taken from my account within a whistle. Not even like an instant. Whistle. The minute you blow out your air, it's gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
But
super gone.
Right.
But then when you try to get it back, every nigga is trying to tell you that it's stuck in the ether and it's going to take 5 to 7 business days to return it back to your ass. Why?
Single time.
How is it that you guys are still floating this bullshit excuse from legit 2001?
Yeah.
In an era where legit people are paying with Google, not even cards, with Google. With the
fact that when I spoke to homeboy from Just for Laughs and he's like, I see the transactions here, and I'm like, good, give me the money back. Oh, I can't do that. It's like, wait, what do you can see?
Look, guys. It's always easier to take than it is to give. Let's just be honest.
No.
There's gravity. People like to say it takes the same amount of muscles to frown as it is to smile. Bullshit. There's a thing called gravity.
Bro, if I'm speaking to a major bank corporation and then I'm also speaking to a major store corporation like a Walmart, and both of these jokers have people on the phone willingly lying and telling you, hey, it's this person who has your stuff. You need to talk to that person. Nah, B, it's that guy. You need to talk to them and they can release your hold. And you're just like, what? There's a plethora or ether or some sort of network out there where there's a bunch of people's money being held for 5 to 7 business days that don't need to be like that. And if I can crack out and find out where this shit is, nigga, I'm rich. Because fuck that. No one needs to wait 5 to 7 business days when you took my shit within 30 seconds. Boy, Uber cost me $80 in fees just the other day because of they took one. The dude canceled, still went through, had to get a next one, me not realizing that the first one was taken, shit was overdrawn, but $70 later, and almost like, nigga, where's my money? And then you call Uber and they're like, yeah, it's funny when you text an Uber and they're like, oh, do you have a record of your transaction? Nah, because dude canceled, but the money's still gone. I don't see anything in your records. Well, I do. Here's a screenshot of my bank statement. I'm gonna have to escalate this. Disconnect.
Yeah. Well, it's funny
I
you say
hate
that.
that shit. I
Yo,
hate
shout
that
outs
shit.
to my homie from work. She was just telling me the exact same story. She ordered some food. They said it was delivered. There's nothing on her doorstep. She hits up Uber like, "Hey, yo, your man's didn't deliver it. Can I get the confirmation? Like at least a picture or something?" They're just like, "Oh, we're sorry. We can't provide a picture right now." And then legit said to her, "Since we can't do anything at the moment, we're going to close out the case," and disconnected the chat and
That
just
just makes
turned it
no
off.
sense.
And
No,
she's
it
just like,
doesn't.
"You didn't resolve anything. What do you
Nope.
mean you're turning off the chat? What are you
Because that's
talking
what you
about?"
do. That's what you get when you outsource. Okay.
Yo,
And I'm no diss to the outsourcing areas, but that's what you get.
Fuck
It's messy.
outsourcing.
It's messy.
Yeah, well, no shit, fuck outsourcing, but that's how you have $1 million company and stay $1 million.
Yeah. You
Because
don't
if you're
become
actually
millionaires
paying
without walking
people
on people.
on your side of the shore who actually have to deal with the same situation, you wouldn't be having Edna being like, "Hey, bud, yeah, that sucks, but I can't do nothing, so escalated, disconnect, peace." Like,
Yeah.
and the fact that you can't call them is what saves them and allows them to do that kind of ratchet feet. Because if I could call you an Uber, nigga, you're not doing that if I'm yelling at you.
Yeah.
Which is why you don't want to get yelled at, which
That's
is why
like-
they took away calling anyways.
Yeah, that's like Car2Go. When Car2Go used to be in Montreal, anytime I try to reach out to them for something, I would like figure out how to get to a person. And every time I spoke to an actual human being, they would be like, "Oh, okay, I'll help you." And they would fix the situation. Anytime it was just email, it would be like 2-3 days of like waiting for replies. Oh, we're still working on this, blah, blah, blah. No. You know what though? I'll say this. Shout outs to Secret Lab, the people who do my chair, because when I had a problem, their chat, they actually took care of the situation, got back to me, sent me emails, sent me updates, actually sent me this stuff. And I was just like, "Oh shit, these guys actually give a fuck." Because then they, especially for the price you pay for these damn things, you better. Like, it's expensive as hell.
Facts.
But yeah. Speaking of angry black men, can we talk about Day Shift?
Let's go.
We can.
Shout outs to Jamie Foxx
have you-
out here
have-
being serious.
Have you guys seen it?
I saw it.
I thought it was pretty good, considering for what it was. It was meant to be fun.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
You're not sure it was meant to be fun?
Well, no, because
I
like,
mean-
most vampire movies try and be all like,
Right.
scary and.
I was gonna say it's because of how vampire films have been for so long recently. I thought Jamie was gonna be doing a more serious.
Mhm.
Mind you, when I saw that Snoop Dogg was in it, I was like, I can't expect anything with Snoop Dogg in it, with vampires and Snoop to be serious.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Hey, don't
What
get
do
me
you
wrong.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I like Snoop, but unless Snoop is doing like Training Day type, like Snoop likes to do the silly, and that's fine. But Snoop doesn't do the serious often.
So the story involves Jamie Foxx as a vampire?
Yeah. So
He's a vampire hunter.
Yeah. It starts off with him.
Yeah,
going-
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Jamie Foxx is a vampire hunter.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be comedic,
Yeah.
although he does more comedy.
When did Jamie Foxx not fall off, but when did he fall into the Netflix realm of death?
It's
You
not.
know what I'm saying?
I think
Wasn't he
it's-
just Ray Charles?
I think he wants.
What the fuck is going
That
on?
was like 15 years ago.
No, but
buddy.
you know what
that's
I'm saying,
No,
though.
I
wow.
actually know exactly what Skinny's saying.
You
I
know what I'm
exactly-
saying, though.
No, I know, but like,
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? Why are you
I-
out here doing these Damon Wayne ass parts?
Oh shit!
First of all, I don't think that's harsh.
No, it's not harsh.
Like, that's harsh. That's harsh. All right, you're bringing him down to the brothers. Yeah, it's harsh.
why are
We're
you
talking.
doing these David Wayne
Like,
ass
you're
parts?
talking about scary movie and fucking
No,
white
because
chicks.
Damon
like, that's rough.
Damon Wayne's at least had my wife and kids.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Damon
go
had
with
the show.
Marlon. Is it Marlon?
It's
Wayans?
Marlon.
It's
It's more
Marlon.
Marlon, I think. You're
Who's that
referring to.
garbage movie that was just like him waking up naked each time and like he
Naked. I think it was called
It
Naked.
was naked. Okay,
Yeah.
so this seems like a movie on the level of Naked.
It's like a Groundhog's Day.
No, not at all. I don't. I mean, I've only seen snips of that movie, so I can't say I've seen all that movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I've seen both. I'll say this, Dave, and I understand what Skinny's saying. I think one of the things is Netflix is trying to play both sides. Netflix is like, hey, we can have Oscar-winning movies that we release in theaters for a week and then put it on our streaming platform, and we can have straight to DVD movies. But guess what? We're gonna have the same stars in all of those. And that's
what's
what makes it
weird.
feel a little weird, because to have Jamie Foxx, Charlize Theron, all these actors who've won big awards, and then to be putting them on these little Netflix streaming movies,
But-
you kind of get a sense of like, okay, well, I can't take I know this is old fashioned, but you don't take the movies as seriously.
Of course, but like if you're thinking about like on a career wise, like Jamie Foxx
check's a check.
A check's a check.
Right.
B, I feel for someone in his prowess and someone of like his diversity, like as you guys were saying, I feel at this point, I mean, like what he's in his later part of his career in life. Do the roles you want. Maybe for him, he's like because like he's gotten Oscars now, right?
Right.
So like at that point, like I don't, unless you have a determination to be like, I want to have the most Oscars or something like that, or the most Oscars in the most categories or whatever, do the roles you like. Because, and one thing is obviously Netflix is paying him well because this is like the second type of his movie, right? Because he had that Power movie. Like
yes. And that's the thing. Power to me felt more like a cinematic movie that got released on Netflix, whereas Day Shift feels like a straight to DVD that got released on Netflix.
I feel Day Shift would have been one of those, like, this is a summer movie that lasted in the theater for those 2 weeks while the two blockbusters were apart.
That's cool.
Oof, that's almost worse, Dave.
Yeah, that's really
no, but
worse.
I'm saying no because I'm saying there's
that's
still
like being the second
quality
Pinocchio.
to it.
Yeah.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Dave, I get what you're saying. It's just that you realize that that's like
it wasn't a compliment. I wasn't saying it was a compliment. You guys are interpreting it as if I'm trying to give it a compliment. I'm just trying to say, like, I find the actual cinematography of it. Sorry, I'm still saying that one. It better than what you're describing it to be a straight to DVD. However, one thing I will say is that back to like what the essence of the movie, it was nice to see a vampire movie that wasn't necessarily it was like
it's not a comedy.
It was Bulletproof meeting a vampire movie. If you guys ever saw the Bulletproof movie with like Adam Sandler and one of the Wayans, I believe, if I'm not wrong.
Oh my God, is that
that's the one with like the cop buddy?
Yeah, is that Bulletproof?
That's Bulletproof.
I thought that was wait, who's in Bulletproof?
It's one of the I think it's I'm pretty
but
sure
it's not Adam Sandler, isn't it?
It's Adam Sandler and one of the Wayans. I'm 100%. I love that movie.
I don't think Adam Sandler's been in a movie with one of the Wayans.
That's what I'm thinking.
Go for it.
Oh shit, he's right. It is Damon.
So
1996.
Oh God.
Oh my God, they did a Bulletproof too? Lord save us.
But with it being said, I just thought that it was nice to see like something lighter. It was interesting to see. One thing I did like that was something kind of newish for the Vampire Hunters. It's like you had like you could be like how would you say a real cop or a fake cop, and that was like actually meant something with your compensations and stuff. Like I like that there was like an actual union of hunters. Versus like let's say
that was cool.
Mercenaries version of hunters. Like I liked that aspect.
There's a rule book
because
there's a structure.
Yeah, because you have like he starts off with what's it called, being like what you mean call it
well, he's been exiled.
He's been exiled, so he's a mercenary, and then he needs more money. He knows that he can make more money through the union. And therefore, like he gets Snoop Dogg to basically bring him back to the union to get like some better paid jobs. And then he gets paired up with Dave Franco, which this is ironically the first time I wasn't completely annoyed with that kid the whole time.
Oh, really?
I didn't mind it as much, but maybe it's because I'm starting to finally see that this is the type of role that he does, and he does it well. But I was less annoyed with him compared to usual, personally.
I'm trying to find the Last Boy Scout. That's what I thought.
Yeah. That's Bruce Willis.
Yeah, that's Bruce Willis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. When you said Adam
this
Sandler,
whole time, I was like, it's so odd that he's being
this
quiet.
motherfucker's talking about the last. I was like, this is 100% the movie I thought you were talking about, The Last Boy Scout.
No,
I was just like, you think Bruce Willis is Adam Sandler?
No,
what is wrong with you? No, you were 100% right. Bulletproof and The Last Boy Scout, two different movies, even though it's the exact same style.
Well,
it's the exact same movie.
Well, no.
I don't know.
Last Boy Scout is Wayne's is like some type of ex NFL or like he's something to do with like an NFL player, and then Bruce Willis.
I meant a football and break some guy's nose.
I meant it's more just like the usual trope of the buddy cop movies.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Which is they're not, even though sometimes they're not even cops, which is funny. Oh yeah, I mean, so I liked the movie in the sense that it was fun to watch.
Mhm.
I didn't find it greatly entertaining. I thought the ending was a little silly.
Yeah.
When they bring that girl in the third act, like they bring her in the second act for 2 seconds, then all of a sudden she's like a part of the main story for the final act. I was like, but you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then you had to do all this exposition to introduce her into the story because you're like, okay, well now we have to explain to you why she would help. And it's like, okay, you guys.
Yeah,
this
it's like they passed this girl in the streets one time, and then in the
Right.
second movie, it's like, oh my god, and they're falling. She's grabbing their hand and like saying,
Yes.
and you're like, this doesn't make
full
any
on.
sense.
Yeah, you're like walking down the street, random character in the Matrix. Then the next thing at the end of the Matrix, she's Trinity, and you're
Yeah.
like, what? Like, imagine if you had Trinity, but Trinity doesn't interact with you until the final act. And you're like, why is Trinity here? Like, what is your connection to this? Why do you care? And then you had to just verbal diarrhea in that scene where she's like explaining who the villain is, what you did, why the villain's after you, how you have to stop the villain. Dave Franco's a vampire now. You're like, what the hell? And it's like, okay, guys.
I liked actually the villain's reason for being mad at Jamie
it's
Foxx.
a fair reason.
It was a fair reason, and it was like well done. That it's like you're kind of like, what the fuck? Because the whole time I'm thinking like, oh, this is some type of special ancient something that we don't know, and then you realize
spoiler alert.
Well, I'm not gonna say the rest, but like I don't know.
I'm gonna say it. Well,
yeah,
I'm not.
So go for it.
I'm not watching it, so go ahead.
Yeah, so it turns out that the villain is upset because Jamie Foxx killed this vampire who turned out to be the villain's daughter. But we're talking about like the lady he killed was like an old lady,
like a shrew.
Sorry,
like a shrew. He said, like a shrew, like a very
old. And then the lady that is hunting him is this young woman. So when you find out that it's her daughter, you're just like, what? And then this is where this other random girl comes into the story and starts explaining, okay, so what happened was she was a vampire, but she had to leave, and she had to leave her daughter behind. And by the time she turned her daughter was an old woman. So you killed this old woman who happened to be her daughter that she had to leave behind when she got turned, and she's angry because you killed her daughter. And it's just like, really? I was like, okay. I mean, I get it. It was well done because I really thought this was like the matriarch of their family that he killed, and you find out it's her daughter. You're like, oh snap, that's kind of crazy. But
yeah, but like right before I watched it, I was randomly talking to a friend. He's like, it's worth you if you like an action comedy. He's like, it's worth a watch, but like you're not gonna have any. There's not much rewatchability to it. You're not gonna have like. It's like you have a lazy Sunday, yeah, watch it, and that's exactly when I watched it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Netflix is like that though. They just kind of. It's like, and what you're describing is actually perfect, and I think that's one of the problems. Remember when we were kids and you would have the cable channels and random movies played on Sunday afternoon?
Yeah,
the entirety of Netflix feels like the random Sunday afternoon movies now, that is a problem.
With the exception of their like few in between hits throughout the year,
right?
Which speaking of which,
90% of your content shouldn't feel like the random shit I watched on the Sunday afternoon as a kid. Like that's not a good sign.
Yeah, but I mean, but again, that's their problem with commitment, right? They cancel things. They don't
Sorry, bro. Yeah.
That's like even now, I've been waiting for Extraction 2 for like over 2 months. What's going on?
They're working on it now, though. No.
Yeah, it was supposed to be released at the beginning of the summer.
Oh shit! Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I was paying super close attention because I was like, I'm not going to forget it this time and have you guys ruin everything on the show.
We like spoiled the whole damn thing.
Yeah, like you're like, hey, the best kill is this. I'm like, that was the best kill.
I'm sorry, homie. Oh shit, that's funny. Damn. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy, man. That's just now that the more we talk about it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Netflix, cool. I mean, you're just being lazy these days, so I can't really.
But maybe they're going to mask it with some massive comeback. Like maybe the massive comeback will be when the next He-Man Revelations comes out, and it's actually about He-Man.
I don't know. I just watched Mo, on Netflix.
I'm about to start that, and
It's great.
It is actually good.
Yeah, it's very well written. Good, great acting.
But it's not going to be like the Idris Elba DJ show where I get into it and then they cancel it. Oh wait, they will. So.
But that's it. That's my thing. Because of how Netflix is, as much as I enjoy this show, I don't know if this show will translate to views, so they might cancel it. Sandman, sure, they're going to give Sandman a season 2 because Sandman was the most watched Netflix stream thing in 87 play blah 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 blah.
Haven't watched it still.
Yeah, I mean Sandman, but that's the other thing. Netflix buys these IPs that are so popular or uses these IPs that are so popular. Sandman, they did a lot of promo. I honestly, to this day, still feel like they gave Cowboy Bebop the short end of the stick. I don't feel like they did a lot of promo. They originally did some promo, then they had to delay shooting because of an injury. And then in my head, I feel like they're like, we lost too much money. Fuck it. And then they just didn't care because of the delayed filming. And then when they released it and then didn't promote it at all once it was. So many people I knew who were fans of anime were like, I didn't realize that dropped. Where can I watch? I'm like, it's on Netflix. They're like, shit. And then they announced the cancellation like right after. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, but Netflix, it's like, you have to watch it with caution now. At least their TV shows, at least,
People need to stop pitching to them.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Honestly, and if you're a creator out there listening to this, I know it's not easy, but I'll tell you this, and I know this is going to sound crazy because it's the network I shit on probably more than Netflix, but the CW with their new owners, Nexstar, are out there, and they went public saying, hey, creators, we're here, and we're ready to listen to pitches for anything that you would have sold to CW in the past and anything you would have never thought to send to us because we're looking for new content.
Yeah,
and that's a big move. So I'm interested to see what CW does in the next 2 years because they legit opened themselves up to the industry and said, send us your ideas. We are willing to listen. We're taking meetings, and they're taking meetings all over Hollywood and New York looking for shows. So, maybe the competition might actually make some of these guys give a fuck again.
Maybe.
Like, you know what it is? Netflix is acting like the Mr. McMahon of
don't do that.
And they are.
It's too late
of the
streaming
to do that. Of the streaming services. It's true. It's true. Their TV shows are like play toys in a sandbox.
Interesting.
And they describe.
I see what he's saying because everything I know about how McMahon treated everyone who works for him, Netflix treats these shows like they're just like, oh yeah, we could just toss this out. You know what? We'll do another season of this one.
And Cowboy Bebop is a perfect example.
No,
everyone was.
You know what Netflix is? You know what Netflix is, and you will know what I'm talking about, Dave, and so will you, Brian, to a certain degree. Netflix is MTV2 circa 2005 through 10.
I have no clue what that is.
So undergrads, Mission Hill.
Oh,
what was the other show there? Clone High.
I did
Oblongs, all the good shit that they had, and they were just like, cancel it after one season. That's what Netflix is.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
Hey, you like this show? Too bad.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, even which one was it? Both Clone High and undergrads have for years and still do tease to this day that they're going to come back. And they're like, stop
pieces of
like,
shit
stop
teasing that much.
Yeah, you're like, you're a jerk. They even they had as early as 4 years ago they had a commercial with like Nits being like, we're coming back, blah blah blah.
Yes,
you're like,
it's
like
true.
sick. And then like after a few days, like, motherfuckers.
The people that would have cared about a season 2 of undergrads have graduated and have kids who are probably undergrads. Stop.
Yeah, true. It's so old. Yeah.
Nobody cares now.
I think, is undergrads the one I own? I own one of them.
You probably own Clone High, but undergrad.
No, it's not Clone High.
Mission Hill?
No. I really think undergrads is the one I own. I'm pretty sure I have the undergrads, like the full series downstairs.
Full series of all 8 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I love when you buy those. They're like the complete series, and you're like, "There's only 8 episodes."
Yeah,
anger. Exactly. So much anger.
Yeah,
so much anger. Yeah,
I think that's about it. We gotta say, peace out. Don't forget to check out Infinity Equation. You said
yes. On Fridays here on YouTube. I may possibly be there, but if not, just check it out because it's X-Men. Worth checking out. It's all right. Otherwise, You can find me on Action Figgy Skinny on IG. Haven't been doing many unboxings lately, but things are coming through. Things are going so pipeline. Things are coming.
I should hit you up because I have two things. I have a Basquiat action figure that I ordered, and my Run to Jewels set is coming from Super
Sick.
7. So maybe I will hit you up to do unboxings.
With those. You ordered that? That'd be cool.
Yeah, I ordered those. So guys, like I mentioned earlier, you can check it out on this Friday, and I think they want me to come on every Friday to talk She-Hulk with them. WatchMojo, just follow them on IG at WatchMojo, and or you can follow me at Brian Holiday, and you'll see when I go live on Fridays.
Their viewers to our show, yes.
Hey man, dude, I jumped 20 followers just from the first episode. Like,
I
said, shout out to all the people that started following me. Like, I appreciate the love. Like, I'm just a fellow geek who got to sit down and talk geek shit, and I was like, this is great. So if they like what I'm saying and they're down to follow and be a part of what we do, then yeah, so be it. Oh yeah, and the dumbest timeline.
Yes, run the dumbest timeline.
Yeah, man, it's been doing well. Yo, shout out to everybody who's been checking that out. The great. YouTube's slow growing, but the audio, I'm seeing double jumps for every episode. So I appreciate y'all listening. And now available literally on every platform. If it is not on a platform, it is not because I haven't tried. It's on Amazon Music. I didn't even know how to put it through to Amazon Music, and then I got a confirmation. And I was just like, I didn't know I could do that. So
nice.
No excuse, y'all. Okay, that's it. All. Anything you want to tell the people, Dave?
No, I'm good.
Congrats again, man. Congrats again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Shout out to Eva.
Oh, my baby.
We're out. Peace, y'all.